Greetings, everyone. This is Peter Salemi, and welcome to a special live of the Watchman program here on BICOG. Of course, tonight is, at sundown, is starting the Feast of Trumpets. And if you are celebrating the Feast of Trumpets, you are a Christian, I'd like to wish you a wonderful Feast of Trumpets. It's a feast of gathering, a feast of blowing of the trumpets, God's call to repentance. And of course, the Feast of Trumpets kicks off the 10 days of awe, or the 10 days of repentance. And of course, each day represents one of the 10 commandments. And of course, we have to meditate on each of the 10 commandments on each day. Meditate, ask God to help us to keep his law fully and perfectly on each day. And of course, it's also called the days of judgment. And you look at Habakkuk 1:12, judgment means a time of correction. And then of course it leads up to the time, and of course correction is repentance, of stop going your way and start going God's way. That's what repentance means. Time of correction, a time of judgment. And of course it leads to the time of the Day of Atonement, which is the day of divine sentencing. And of course, we see this also in prophecy. We see the trumpets in the book of Revelation. And of course, we also see the time of divine sentencing when Satan, the devil, an angel, comes down with a great chain in his hand and takes Satan, the devil, and throws him in the bottomless pit. And that's all in symbolism when you look at the Day of Atonement and the scapegoat. That leads to the time. The scapegoat is led into the wilderness, and of course on him are the sins of Israel. And that is all in symbolism of what is going to happen in the end time when Satan the devil is thrown into the bottomless pit. Now, I go through all that with you in my booklets that I have on the Feast of Trumpets and on the Day of Atonement. And when I get to my laptop, I'll redo the video description of this live, and I'll put in the links to the Feast of Trumpets, the booklets to the Feast of Trumpets and the Day of Atonement. I'll put them in the video description below. I'll also put in the video description below the video links that I did to the Feast of Trumpets, to the Day of Atonement. I'll put those video links there as well. And I'll also put the video link on the Rapture. Now, for some reason, you're seeing on the internet these days, September 23rd, which is tomorrow, they're predicting that the Rapture is going to happen. And of course, we've seen this time and time again. I did a video a few years ago on this Christian numerologist who said back then that he worked out all these mathematical calculations, and he calculated the sun, the moon, the stars, and the woman in the book of Revelation. And he talked about how the end of the world was going to happen back then. I think it was 2017. And of course, 2017 came and went. The year 2000, remember that? Y2K and all that came and went. And people keep putting dates on the rapture, the second coming of Jesus Christ. And these dates have come and gone. And of course, here we see another date, September 23rd, the time of the Feast of Trumpets. And of course, they're saying that the Great Tribulation is going to start. Or I'm sorry, the rapture is going to start during this time, September 23rd, during this time of the Feast of Trumpets. And I'm seeing all this, September 23rd, I'm saying to myself, here we go again. They're predicting the rapture, and the rapture, the Greek chef says, so I have one day to spend all my money. But the rapture is not in the Bible. It's just not there. Now, of course, people are quoting scriptures like 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 16 and 17. 1 Corinthians 15th chapter, verses 50 to 52, and they say that is the rapture, but it's just simply not true. That is the resurrection of the dead that happens at the second coming of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And you can read that in Matthew 24th chapter, verses 29 through 31 and 2, where it says, after the tribulation of those days, and then it talks about the elect of God, and they are going to be gathered from, the four corners of the earth, and of course, Jesus Christ is going to gather them, and of course, they're going to be resurrected and meet the Lord in the air, and it talks about the last trump. And when you look at the last trump in the book of Revelation, it happens after the tribulation during the day of the Lord. The blessed hope is the second coming of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And I explain all that in the video I did on the rapture, and of course the booklet that's attached to that video is there, the link to our booklet on the rapture, and it goes through in great length to show you that there is no rapture before the tribulation, that the Bible talks about the resurrection from the dead that happens at the second coming of Jesus Christ, that happens after the tribulation during the day of the Lord. So there's not going to be no rapture tomorrow. I heard some guy just sold all his property. He sold everything, his house, his cars, and everything, because he believes that the rapture is going to happen tomorrow. And it's just simply not the case. And of course, they're talking about the 7-year tribulation period. There is no 7-year tribulation period. It's just not there. Daniel, the 9th chapter, verse 27, speaks of this 7-year period, and that has already been fulfilled at Christ's first coming. The second coming of Christ, the Great Tribulation, is described as a 3.5-year period. And I go through that with you in our video that I did on Daniel's 70 weeks. And I'll put that in the video link. I'll put that in the video description as well. You can check out that video as well. So there is no rapture. The blessed hope is the second coming of Jesus Christ. 1 Thessalonians 4, 1 Corinthians 15 describes the resurrection of the saints, the dead, and those who are alive. The resurrection of the saints, it describes that, and that happens at the second coming of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, not before the tribulation. Plainly in the book of Revelation, we see the saints going through the tribulation. We see that in Revelation, the 7th chapter. White robes were given to these people. And it says, who are these? And John says, oh, sir, thou knowest. And he says, these are they which came out of great tribulation. These are the saints of God. Jesus Christ says, in the world you shall have tribulation. Jesus Christ also, he said to pray, he prayed to the Father. He says, Father, I pray that you take them not out of the world. He said that, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Yet here are people saying that God is going to take us out of the world. Right when the world needs Christians the most, God is going to take them out of the world. And Jesus Christ says, I pray not that you take them out of the world, but you keep them, meaning protection, from the evil one. And that's what the Bible describes. During the time of the Great Tribulation, it says that God will protect his people during that time. Read Psalm 91. That God promises protection for his people right here on earth. Now, I'm not talking about Petra. I know there's a lot of people in the Seventh-day Churches of God that believe in this Petra doctrine, that God is going to whisk his church away into Petra somewhere in the Jordan. It's just like the rapture, but instead of heaven, they go to a place of safety called Petra, and that's nonsense as well. Herbert W. Armstrong used to preach that. I think the Philadelphia Church of God still preaches that. I'm not sure about the others. Church of God International doesn't preach that anymore. God will protect you right there where you are. And those that are persecuted, you have to remember that God chooses the strongest of his people, the strongest of his people, to go through persecution because he knows that they can handle it. Of course, God doesn't give us more than we can handle. So, September 23rd is going to come and go. There's not going to be a rapture. We have to stop setting dates. Jesus Christ said about his second coming, no man knows the day or the hour, not the angels of heaven, not even the Son of God. But it says, but my Father only. You can read that, Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21, my Father only. It's when the Father decides. And I did plenty of videos on date setting that you can find on our YouTube channel. And maybe I'll put those video links in the video description here as well. So I just want to make it clear, there's not going to be a rapture. There is no rapture. The resurrection of the dead and the saints who are alive is going to happen at the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's when those scriptures are fulfilled. So I want to wish everybody a wonderful Feast of Trumpets. If you celebrate the Feast of Trumpets, have a wonderful Feast of Trumpets. And don't forget to log on to our website, britishisrael.ca, and we have a whole whack of literature there for you on the festivals, on the rapture. If you want to take a look at all those booklets there, free of charge, off our website, britishisrael.ca. And also join our email list, and you get the latest updates on videos and booklets that we create, and we send it out to everyone on our email list as well. And of course, I will send this video out to the people on our email list as well. And of course, you can also join this channel. If you click the join button below, you can join this channel. You can support this channel. It's only $5 a month, and you can support this YouTube channel as well. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining me here on this quick live. And in closing, I just want to say that there is a specific event that's going to happen. It's the next great prophetic event that we find in Daniel, the 11th chapter, verse 45. If you want to look for the next great prophetic event, it's not going to be the rapture. It's going to be Daniel, the 11th chapter, verse 45. And I go through that verse in many videos that I do on the King of the North. Who is the King of the North? And we show you that the King of the North is the President of the United States. And it says that the next great prophetic event, it says that he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. That is the next great prophetic event. If you want to look for the next great prophetic event, that is it. You watch for that, and when that happens, then comes the great tribulation, the time when the EU falls apart, NATO falls apart, and after that the beast power rises. And when that beast power rises, then comes the great tribulation. It doesn't happen as fast as you can read it. It takes time for these things to come to pass, but that is the next great prophetic event. If you want to look for something, look for that. So in closing, I just wanted to share that with you. Daniel, the 11th chapter, verse 45, is the event that we are to watch. And of course, we have many videos on that particular verse. So don't forget to log on to our website, britishisrael.ca. Like and subscribe this YouTube video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also join our email list. The link is in the video description below. Thanks everybody for joining me here, and have a wonderful Feast of Trumpets.